Okay, it's Monday, 2:06 p.m., 2:07 p.m., August 1st, 2022. There's so much that, there's so much that people aren't aware of that's metaphysical. Things that are actually happening around you. It's hard to figure out where's the best place for me to start relative to the best way I can help you understand. I've got a couple of important videos to make here, but I just realized this one I have to make that's very simple, talking about dimensions. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. This is about abuse. It's an introduction to abuse frequencies and why your life is so hard. I'll try to make it as short as possible. I understand everyone's got things to do, and because of the extent of what I see, understand, and know, I want to feed you as much information, but sometimes that literally keeps me going and going. So let's see how quick I can get this information out to you in a digestible form. Life's hard, you know it. We have our nice days, but life's difficult, and there's always a lot that we have to do to get through every day. When we have a good day, we remember it. At least for a while, we sure as heck appreciate it, because it's like we got a break. That's because for the norm, life's very difficult. There's things that happen to you that you just don't deserve. And you wonder where they came from. If karma is true, if it actually exists at the moment, how come I keep doing good stuff to help other people and I only get back 10 to 20% of what I put out? How come I still get my butt whooped? House put up for foreclosure, break a leg, car dies, gotta buy a new car. People will say, well, that's just life. Well, that's true. That's life in a solid body, the way the original first being set it up. What you're not aware of is that you've had a lot of lives. Reincarnation isn't quite as what you might understand it to be, but you almost always make the decision to go into a body and have another life. You've had times where you were shoved into a body, whether you liked it or not. If you commit suicide and you get out of your body quickly, the chances were the original first being, male and female, what you call God, would slam you right back into another one. So you get back in there, you haven't received enough abuse yet. Now, what's this about abuse? As spirit, I have a lot of friends, people I really care about, love. And when I say people, I'm talking about beings on the other side. Animal essence, planetary essence, all these different forms of energy beings. We all look different, but we're just energetic fields. Beautiful fields of sentient energy, spirit. We don't have bodies. Animal essence looks very similar to you, just different frequencies. In the very beginning, I was made to see things exactly as they are, as no one else could. These abuse frequencies I'm about to talk about, people can't see them in or out of body. So that, of course, opens up a door of ignorance, which I'm ignorant of as much or more than anyone else. Ignorance is innocent. It's a not knowing. It's an unawareness. I don't know how to build a rocket. I don't know how to do a lot of things. I mean, from one end to the other. However, I can do things other people can't. We're all equal. The fact is, we're all equal. You've never been treated that way. You've never been allowed for others to treat you that way, except for a moment. That's all due to the original first being, male and female, that have been dead since May 23rd, 2013. The issue was, when you go into a body, when a piece of your spirit goes into a body, physical body, to have life, it's tough. It's hard. Now, I've told you there's over 8 trillion planets with over 1 billion people in it, living beings in there. Out of all that exists in creation in the third dimension, Earth is one of 4. That is the worst. Which one is the worst out of the 4? It depends on what category you're talking about, okay? Excuse me, but out of all categories, Earth is one of the top 4. So life here is usually quite hard, but it's also extremely abusive. Now, when you have a life, when part of you goes inside a body, and then when you go inside the body, you get locked inside the body, the rest of you is flowing out of your crowns, out of your upper crown, and it floats around in the second, but mostly it floats around in the third dimension, but mostly in the second dimension outside of your body. It's huge, and it's in a dormant stage. It's like sleeping, but you can't wake it up. Not as long as you're in the body. When the part of you, the strongest part of you, is what goes in the body. When that comes out of the body, then poof, you come out and you wake up. You become yourself, and you wake up the rest of you. Now, those people I know on the other side that haven't had any lives, they're not as intelligent in relation to having lives as those who have had lives. It's a simple truth, okay? But when I look at them, I understand. I see for myself, and I understand that they don't understand what's going on with having lives and how to control them, how to do anything. Right now, that's a real big problem. There's chaos on the other side. And there's other problems too. The other side is a form of cancer. It's compassion has been beat up and coated with sludge. A lot of that is abuse frequencies. Now, when you come out of a body from having a life, you come out and then poof, your energy grows. The more abusive the life is that you had to endure while in that body, when you come out, you grow larger. You've been having your butt whooped at least 8 out of 10. I mean whooped hard. At least 8 out of 10 lives. Every 10 lives, at least 8 of them are real bad. Sometimes it's more like 40 of them and you get 1 or 2 off. Okay? But the best you've ever had it is 80% of your lives have been real, real hard. If you're having an easy one now, I'm happy for you. But then again, there's no one controlling that on the other side anymore. So heads up, anything loose in a body that you had an issue with in a past life could be a problem. But most of those type of people are gone now from the other side. They've been deleted. So the whole idea, the reason why the original first being, male and female, wanted to put you in a body is to make you grow, so that when December 21st came of the year 2012 in the 5th age here on Earth, they had all these new universes that they were going to take the spirit mates, put the spirit mates together. They can't make one. It's just 2, like 2 holding hands. they put the spirit mates together, and the largest ones, they would take each one of those sets, put it in one of these new universes, and then you would release a third of your energy. You cannot release more than a third of your energy, or you will literally come apart. And there's a fail-safe that's just built in. You're not able to. If you lift weights and you can only lift 100 pounds, if you can only curl 100 pounds, you can only curl 100 pounds. That's the way it goes. Excuse me. It's the same way with releasing your energy. You can't release any more than a third. So anyway, if you release a third of your energy and you've had easy lives, this is a low number. Let's just use simple numbers. Then let's say you could release 1 million of you, a million parts of you and your other half, your spirit, actual one singular spirit mate. So you'd release 100 million. Let's say 100 million. So the next thing you know, if you've had all these lives and you're huge, grown in size, you could release 100 billion. So the reason why the original first being male and female wanted you to grow and go into these new universes and release part of your energy as you grew, because there'd be more people. Remember, the original first being itself, not he or her, it was the original first being, and it was lonely. It was alone. It started driving it nuts. It also had 27.5% of its frequencies were lower frequencies or negative. So it wanted to make sure. So it split itself into two somewhat different parts, creating company for itself. There was two parts of it, and they were a little bit different. So they had communication. They had companionship. Then the next thing you know, by releasing these other parts of themselves, getting them to grow, and then making them grow as much as they could, then you take the spirit mates that were large, had grown the most, and you put one set in this universe, the other set in another universe, and you have, it's more, but just say 1,000 universes. And then all of a sudden, each one of them, instead of releasing 100 million, releases 100 billion smaller parts of themselves. Then they have all these new worshipers, because that's the whole thing. Everybody was praise Mother, Father, God. Praise Mother, Father, God on the other side. Now, the thing is, it's not healthy. It's not a healthy situation for creation to grow in. It can't thrive. It can only get cancerous and start falling in on itself, which it already has. That happened a while ago. It's sad, but that was the reason why you were created, is to create more praise machines so they could be praised. At first they didn't want to be lonely, so they wanted more beings. And then after that, they got some praise and they said, now this is good. We need to be praised. And then the two of them, the male and the female, they started fighting. They were fighting in a clandestine manner with each other, never talking about it, but taking pot shots at each other, doing things so that they could get more praise than the other, and they'd argue with each other. That's your God. That's the original first being has. Now the thing is, when you came out and you grew a lot, those lives were rough. You literally get torn apart so much inside that your regular frequencies can't grow, and you are a bundle of different frequencies. When your frequencies start growing, but it's unnatural like that, they start looking, some of them, your other frequencies can be dampened, but you grow new ones. As you grow, you're growing some new frequencies, some of them yours, and some of them, they're yours, but they're different. They're sick. The new frequencies, half of them are cancerous. It makes you more aggressive. It takes away from your intelligence. You can't think. You can't move as well. It just literally hurts who you are as spirit, sentient energy, a sentient being. So, That's a major problem with creation. And I believe it was August of 2015, early June, July, August, all the abuse frequencies that were in everyone on this planet were removed. Only here. And they're already growing back in everybody because of the way life is right now. So when that happens, when you're in body, it messes with you, but when you're out of body, it messes with you even more. Excuse me, the original first being halves, male and female, they were noticing that from having abusive lives, that when beings got out of a body and they had all this aggression and stuff stuck inside them, their natural frequencies were literally rubbing against, fighting against, colliding with these abuse frequencies, and it made them a little bigger. Excuse me, the problem is that bigger came and the abuse frequencies, not their natural frequencies. So that's what abuse frequencies are. And you can get a nice big piece of selenite and a nice big piece of black tourmaline. I don't care if they're 50 tons each. It's not going to do anything to remove those abuse frequencies. They have to be taken out by Ara. So when that's what's inside me, that's why I'm called Jara, J-Ara Essex. Can I pull them out of you? Yeah. I already did it once. They're starting to build up again. You're not polluted with them like you were before, but still. So anyway, that's part, a big part, but not the biggest part of why creation is the way it is. People say as above, so below. Not really, but there's some relativity to that. The more disturbed and chaotic the other side is, where we live as in our normal condition, ascension energy, spirit, which is the second dimension, the more messed up that is and chaotic, the more chaotic this is going to be here in the third dimension. So anyway, that's why life can be hard. Sooner or later you get to a point where you'd have so many lives, depending on the individual, you'd have to have an easy life because you were really starting to grow apart. Abuse frequencies eventually would get so big they literally separate you, and you'd be a mass of babbling insanity. Just nothing. Your energy would be going all over the place, and you wouldn't have any coherent thought or anything. That's being handled. These new bodies that you're going to have, your next lives, all of you, your next life will be in an energy body that's like the Fae, and it's a little softer than the Fae bodies. You'll be able to condense it and make a physical body, feel things and everything else. You have an energetic nervous system inside you, because like the nervous system inside your body, that's where your spirit energy flows through there like on a street, and then the rest of your body, it flows through it like a wind like the wind over the land and through the trees. Okay, but the highway is the nervous system. If you go to feel a tree, you put your hand up, you feel the outside of the tree. Well, when you have an energy body, to put your hand on the tree, you can make it solid if you want and feel it better than you can now as a solid being. You just can't hold the solid bodies long. So you can do that, or you relax and be your normal self, and you slowly take your hand and push it through the tree, and you can feel the individual interior fibers of the rings and everything else. One of the most unnatural things there is are these physical bodies that we get trapped inside, hoping will grow. These new energetic bodies, you'll never build up abuse frequencies. You're never going to have an issue with developing into anything other than who you really are. Those frequencies out of you, love, compassion, fortitude, whatever, they just grow and get stronger. You become a more beautiful, more powerful, more intelligent you. Not with all the steroid type stuff in there. And that's coming. Okay? You can relax, meditate, do what you want, and that sure helps. Just take a nice, soft, but full breaths in and out. That helps. Get a little extra oxygen. The energy flows through your body a little more, calming your mind down. But that's nothing compared to what it's going to be like to have lives in the energetic bodies. But those are abuse frequencies. That's one of the top 3 problems with creation. And that's why life is so hard, is because it was meant to be hard. And the good people on the other side, they don't know any better than to let you keep having that. They think it's normal because that's the way it's always been. The ignorant. I'll fix that when I get out of here. Excuse me. Well, lungs give me help, but they won't quit. Damn it. Folks, love you. Take care. Hope that helps some of you. You have a good day. Enjoy it. Treasure it. Hold on to it. And when you have the other bad days, they're not your fault. It's nothing you've done. It's what's always been done to you. And that's changing. You'll never have another life with that in it. Period. Never. None of you. Love you. Take care and have a good one.